Hey guys, what's up? In this video I'm going to talk about something that I recently discovered that's hella profound. So what I recently discovered that really made sense was that your downs are as low as your ups. And I never realized this, but you go through trends and they sort of look like this. There's ups and there's downs. And now the thing is, people would save money. They'll save up, say like 10 grand. They'll work, they'll get clients, they'll sell a bunch of e-com things. They'll just be successful and they'll save up and they'll hit 10 grand in savings. But the moment they hit 10 grand, they get comfortable, they get complacent, they work less hard. They start spending that 10 grand. And then that 10 grand dips down to maybe as low as 1 grand, 1.5 grand. And it will get as low as 1.5 grand. And then once they hit this point, they start feeling urgent, they start feeling uncomfortable and scared, and they start hustling again. They start going ahead and launch a bunch of new products. They start closing more clients, they start jumping on more calls, they just start hustling. And they're able to pull themselves back up, and it'll keep going up, and it'll hit 10 grand, and they'll go through the exact same cycle at 10 grand, they'll get complacent, and they will drop back to 1.5 grand. It'll just keep going up, down, and they'll be in this never-ending cycle. And I definitely could see myself going through this. I would have saved up a bunch of money, get comfortable, it will slowly dip. As it was dipping, I'll get uncomfortable and I go up again. Luckily, I'm pretty sure my chart goes up, down, but it goes on an upward trend, but it still goes up and down. That I did not realize. I didn't realize that I got comfortable at certain points, and then I would wait for it to get uncomfortable for me to start grinding again. So that was a huge eye-opener to me. And this applies to literally everything, not only money. Mental, fitness, cleanliness. You know, I bet there's a lot of people that can relate where you clean up your room, it's perfectly clean, and every day it gets a bit more messy, a bit more messy, a bit more messy, and then it gets to a point where you just can't take it anymore. And you just do a clean, and you clean it all, and then now it's perfect. And you let it go dirty, clean, and you're just on this constant up and down trend. Same as mental healthness, even fitness. I go through phases where I would work out for like 6 months straight every single day consistently, and then I would go on a period of 2-3 months of just not working out at all. In 1 to 2 months, that definitely can offset 6 months worth of progress. And after 2 months, I just feel sick and groggy and I get back to working out. So I'm just going up, down, and you never actually progress. And that's something that 99% of people go through. And when I learned this fact, I was like, damn, that's true. Like, I did not realize, but this has been happening to me and everyone else. So now let's go into solutions. So what you guys should do is you guys should print out one of these graphs. It's like a sine curve. You can just Google it and plot out what are your highs and what are your lows and how it works. The first step to finding a solution to this problem is by breaking it down and looking at your downs in the face. Looking at how low you get, whether it's mentally, physically, financially, and see how low you get. Once you're able to write down and visually see how these lows are at, then you'll start increasing these lows. What I recently learned is you are not your highs, but you are your lows. I think the saying is you are the lowest version of yourself. So your goal is not to keep increasing how high you could get. Your goal should be keep increasing how high your lows could get and keep working on it. For example, the scenario I mentioned before, work on increasing your lower trough from 1.5k to 2k, 2.5k. Like, keep pushing this up as high as you can. And this should be the you would never dip below number. So let's say you would never ever dip below 1.5 grand. That's your current low. You want to increase that to 2 grand, 3 grand. You don't want to be looking at your 10 grand goal and trying to increase that to 15 grand, 20 grand, because it's always going to dip. You want to be focusing on increasing your lows. And that's what's going to really help you in business. Looking at your highs and lows for every aspect of life, financially, fitness, mental, cleanliness, everything, health-wise, diet, break it down and just sort of bring your lows up and improve everything in general. And what I also recently learned, which was a huge shocker, was that all these things, they usually sync up strangely. Do you notice that every time you burn out or every time you go into a really bad dip, everything happens together? Your email is cluttered, your room is messy, your fitness is off, your financials off, everything happens together. And then just like, there's a big crash and you go through like a mental like state of burnout. So what I want to do and what I'm gonna also work on is keeping my lows as high as possible. Meaning keeping my room clean as possible. Try to break this cycle and clean it every time I see it gets like slightly messy. So I want to increase my load. I don't want to wait until there's stuff lying around everywhere on my table. I want to wait until maybe there's 5 things lying on my table. Then eventually I'll wait till there's only 3 things lying on my table. And eventually I'll get to a point where if it's messy, I'll put it away straight away. So I'm increasing my lows, and I'll do that with every aspect of my life to make up for things I can't control. For example, when business is down, that's something I can't control, but all those other things I mentioned and all those other aspects of life are something I can control, and I want those to be up, so make up for my down in business, my financial investments, because those I can't really control as much as my surroundings, my fitness, and basically make sure everything doesn't sink together and you're not putting all your eggs in one basket and you're not letting everything sink at the same time and dip. But yeah, that's it. Hope you guys learned something. Hopefully this was an eye-opener for you. If you guys found value, be sure to drop a like below. If you have any questions whatsoever, please give me your thoughts. Put it in the comments below. Other than that, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Yeah, yeah.